Two of the greatest receivers in NFL history, Tim Brown and Jerry Rice in the New York City Man Cave. Combined catches between you two. You guys got the total on that?
Well, 1,549 for me.
Just off the top of your head.
Just 1,094 for me, so we're well over 1,700, I guess.
Yeah.
2,700.
Pretty good.
2,700.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
2,700.
Yep.
You guys playing golf with Big Break, the Big Break NFL, you guys are in Puerto Rico. I've said you can find out more about somebody playing a round of golf than in any dinner or business meeting. Now, would you guys agree after being around each other and some other NFL guys playing golf?
I would definitely agree because I judge people I want to be around by if I want to play golf with them. If I want to play golf with you for 4.5, 5 hours, then I want to be around you. Otherwise, I don't want to be around you. Now, this guy, I like being around him. I just can't ride in the golf cart with him.
Jerry, why?
Well, I guess because we are so competitive. And if I'm kicking his butt, he doesn't want me in the cart with him.
I'm not going to say good shot.
So he's not going to say good shot because, when I went over to the dark side, Dan, we would play golf every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we would do battle. And it was for this cup.
You and Tim?
Yeah, Tim and I.
Well, we have other
James
players
Jett.
out there, but, it basically came down to us.
No, we never brought them into the equation because they weren't really good golfers.
But it got serious.
Very serious, very competitive.
Yeah. Golf tougher than football?
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, football came natural. It came naturally for me. I didn't have to learn how to do a whole bunch of stuff. I went out there and played and practiced and got better and got better and got better. But with golf, it doesn't matter how much you practice. When you go out there, you're still going to have some shots. You go, where did that shot come from? So it's a much more difficult process.
But you have, the competitor comes out in strange ways. The personality comes out in strange ways. Because sometimes you can play against somebody, and they're different on the football field than they would be on a golf course. Have you realized that, Jerry?
Well, yeah, that is true. Chris Doman, to me, scared me, and
he scared everybody
in the Big Break NFL.
But not on the NFL field, not on the field, but on the golf course.
Well, we knew that he was that enforcer, that intimidator on the football field. But then he took it to a whole different level doing the Big Break. And
what do you mean?
You're gonna have to watch it.
Well,
you have to watch it.
Defensive guys are special anyway. I mean, they're just a little special on that side anyway. So. I think from that standpoint, you sort of understood what you were getting into, but, he took it to a whole nother level where it was like security.
You have to watch the
show. Scariest guy you played against, Jerry, I'll start with you. Made you nervous.
Well, I was watching this show, and they said something about danger, and fear is something that you impose on yourself. And I couldn't fear anyone. Because when I was on that football field, if I had to go across the middle, I had to make that catch. So I couldn't focus on the most intimidating guy, but I was aware of where that person was at on the football field. I respected him, but, it was no alligator arms or anything like that.
Who were you most aware of on the field?
Right, that's how you have to put it. That's Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice can't be scared of everybody.
Rodney Harrison, the big safeties that was with Denver back in the day.
Atwater,
those guys.
You had to look out for those guys, and you had to respect them, but, you could not just focus in on them.
Tim, what about you?
For me, it's sort of the linebackers. I run a lot of crossing, underneath type stuff, and, guys like Von Johnson from New Orleans Saints back in the day, and Mike Singletary, back in the day, and Lamar Lathan back in the day. I mean, I know that's a blast from the past, but I saw this guy smash Marcus Allen's head in the concrete in Houston Superdome, Astrodome, and split his head open, so just slammed his head down on the ground when he caught a ball. So he was a nasty guy, man. So, guys like that, you have to know where those guys were.
I didn't like running across the middle.
Danger.
That's why we got along so well. He stayed out there, and I did all the dirty work.
I said, okay, Tim, you can have that, okay?
Do they hit that much differently now than they did 15, 20 years ago?
It's really sad the way the game is going. I mean, as an offensive player, I feel bad for the defensive guys because really what you're asking these guys to do is almost impossible. If I'm running upright and I don't see you coming and you hit me in the head, I understand. But if I see you coming, I duck, and you still hit me in the head, where am I? where's the guy supposed to hit you? I mean, you're asking a guy to go low, and once he goes low, you're going to see a lot of knees getting torn up, and that's going to be a problem.
Confidence level with a quarterback. We see Matt Shaw. He threw another pick six. That's 4 consecutive games.
Throw it up, baby.
That's really. But what's it like to be a receiver when you realize your quarterback has lost his confidence? Jerry?
Well, he played with 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Talk to me about that,
Dan. And I made those 2 guys. I made them. I put them into the Hall of Fame. You know, Joe Montana, Steve Young.
Wow.
You know, that's the reason why they're in the Hall.
But
right
Jerry
now,
doesn't have a
guys.
Heisman, though.
Well, yeah, that's true. But man alive, you know, I mean, you know, it's really tough because you can see in these guys' eyes that they want no parts of what's going on the football field. And you just sort of walk them through and coach them through it and just try, hey, it's going to be all right. It's going to be, you know, you just throw the ball to me or throw the ball away, you know, and we'll be okay.
You heard it. You heard that. Throw the ball to me. You'll be okay.
You guys are both so humble here. We got Tim Brown and Jerry Rice here. The 20th season of Big Break, and it's Big Break NFL Puerto Rico premieres tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. Every Tuesday night, you got 6 NFL legends, 12 returning Big Break competitors, and competing for some serious money here. I'm also looking at the position of wide receiver, quarterbacks and wide receivers, with the numbers that are going to be put up. I mean, Tony Romo threw for 500 yards yesterday.
Unbelievable.
Everybody's thrown at least 40 times in a game, even in victory. Wide receivers. Alshon Jeffrey had 10 receptions yesterday. I mean, it's Pierre Thomas had 9 receptions out of the backfield. It's getting to the point where, is there too much offense in the NFL, Jerry?
I think you have to have that balance of attack. You know, you got to be able to run the ball and also throw the football. And right now, it's more of a passer league and it's a copy league. And, you know, teams like to see the ball in the air, offensive coordinators and all that. Look what's happening in Denver with Peyton Manning. You know, he's excelling on the football field. He has about 20 touchdowns already and 18 rushing. And who would have thought that he would run with that ball yesterday?
I know.
That was a big surprise to me. But, yeah, you know, I believe in that balance.
Can somebody break your record for receptions?
No. They won't do it simply because they won't be around long enough. I mean, Jerry played 20 years and he put up 1,500. But there's no one who's going to play 15 years and catch 100 passes in 15 years straight.
Could Gonzalez, if Gonzalez continued to play?
No, I don't think
he wouldn't get there.
No,
I don't think so.
No,
anything is possible, but it's the durability and being able, because you know I think Tony is still an exceptional tight end, but he's not the guy that he used to be, you know, back in the day.
But he still came off 90 catches last year. He's still a go-to guy.
Yeah, but do you think he got 3 or 4 more years in him like that?
Yes. Yeah, he stays healthy.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
chance.
an incredible athlete, but I just don't see. I mean, he's already retired twice, so you know. So when you start talking like that, it becomes very difficult to really keep up that same level of intensity of playing the game.
Should receivers be able to wear gloves? Is it a performance enhancer?
Well, look, for me, I didn't wear gloves for one reason. And that was when I returned punts, it became very difficult for me to put the ball away. I could catch it cleanly, but when I went to tuck it, it didn't slide. So, you know, that's the reason. And there were a couple of times I ended up fumbling the ball because I didn't have it secure. So that's the reason why I didn't wear gloves. And, you know, then I got to the point where it felt more comfortable without them than wearing them on.
Jerry's ready to kill you
here's
here.
the thing. I come over to the Raiders, and I'm sitting next to this guy, and I'm looking at Tim, and he's taping up all his fingers. And I'm like, what is going on here? You know, because, you know, for me, wearing gloves, it was like a fashion statement. You know, that was something.
Wait, it didn't help you?
No, it didn't help me. It was
Jerry,
just a
those things
fashion
are like
statement. What are you
stick 'em.
talking-
Hey, you see the size of this guy's hands?
No, today's gloves.
I know.
Today's gloves are like that, but back in the day, no.
Yeah, they were.
But the
No,
ones
they weren't
now,
like that.
They're very tactical.
that's stick 'em.
Very,
Yes.
Best receiver in the game is who?
I think you have to go with Calvin Johnson right now, simply because he's the one putting up the numbers. I know he didn't play yesterday, but you know, I think Fitzgerald is, you know, struggling a little bit with the quarterback, you know, carousel that he has going on out there now. But yeah, I think you have to go with Calvin. But these guys are different now. You know, I mean, when you saw Jerry run routes, when you saw Andre Reed, myself, Chris Carter, whoever, we ran routes. These guys run down the field for the most part, and you know, jump over people's heads.
Yeah, I would have to say Calvin Johnson also, but I'm looking at some of the younger receivers, Julio Jones and also A.J. Green. Those guys, they're coming along, Jeffries and all that. But Calvin Johnson, he's a animal out there, man.
Would you take any quarterback over Joe Montana, Jerry? Is there anybody who could put up any kind of numbers where you'd say, you know what, he's a better quarterback than Joe?
Just any quarterback in the league?
Yeah, is there anybody besides
today's offense or yesterday's offense?
Is Joe the best quarterback of all time?
I would say yes.
Well, wait a minute.
I would say yes, and the reason why is that, Joe made everyone better around him. And if I had to put anyone up there with him right now, some of the guys that are playing, say Peyton Manning, he makes everybody better around him.
If Peyton doesn't have another Super Bowl.
No.
Not close.
If he has another Super Bowl, could he be better than Joe Montana?
That would just be number 2, right?
Joe won 4.
Yeah.
That would be number 2. Okay, all right.
Okay, if Brady wins a
By
fourth,
my math, he's too short.
if Brady wins a fourth, is he on?
I'll answer that. No, he's lost 3.
Okay.
I mean, how can you be as good as somebody who went undefeated? Yeah, you got there more times, but you lost.
All right, you didn't have to yell at me, Tim.
Way to get your point over,
Right.
Tim. There you go.
Jerry, same question.
No.
If Brady
No.
Nobody comes close to Joe.
No.
Perfection.
Better athlete, Steve Young or Joe Montana?
Oh, well.
We would have to go with, Joe had those chicken legs.
Right.
Joe legs was like this.
Right. Yeah.
I would say Steve Young, because of his running ability and all
Could
that.
he have been a tailback?
He could have played any position, to
Steve
be honest
could have.
with you. Yeah.
He'd been great in today's offense.
Yeah.
This read option stuff. He'd been great.
Yeah.
But the worst dancer ever. We had to work with him. If he was, spontaneous or anything, tried to show a little coolness or whatever.
Oh, he's
on the
awkward.
field. Oh my God, he was like, "Come on, Steve."
Steve has so much flair as an athlete, and he's so square as a person.
I'm sorry, but that was typical white guy.
Oh, that was wow. It's Jerry Rice.
Just joking.
Tim Brown. Big Break, NFL Puerto Rico premieres tomorrow night at 9 Eastern, airs every Tuesday night. Good to see you guys.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.